Welcome to Speaking About That.
Welcome to Speaking About That. Yes, welcome guys to another episode of Speaking About That, and it's been quite some time since we've done an episode, and here we are once again with you guys after a short break. Yes, we have the full squad with us. We have Carter with us. Yes, say hi. Yes, and we have Darren as well.
Hello.
Yes,
We are back.
Yes, and today we have something a little bit more exciting for you guys. Yes, and it's also quite exciting for us as well because we have a special guest with us here today, who is Alham, and we're gonna introduce him in just a while. Yes. So today we are gonna be talking about racial harmony in Malaysia, right? So I believe everyone would think that this topic is a little bit sensitive, right? Because it might involve a lot of different factors in there. But don't worry, we'll try our best not to talk about those things, but rather we will focus on a special point of view, right? From our guest today, okay? And you guys will know why later, right? So yes, right now maybe as the audiences, you can just think of a phrase, or just imagine it in your mind of what you think about the racial harmony in Malaysia, and what are the things going on, what are the problems that arise, the current problems, and then what you think you can do to change it, right? So after that, we will share our insights and our precious opinion from our guest today, and maybe you will find out, you'll get to know more about this issue today, right? So today is all about positivity over here. We're trying to raise awareness for this issue, and we're trying to send out a positive message as well, and yeah, we like the slogan "One Malaysia." Yes, that's what we are going for. All right. So without further ado, let us invite our guest today. All right. Alham, may you please introduce yourselves to the rest of us? Yes.
Hello guys, what's up? My name is Muhammad Alham and I'm 23
Mm-hmm.
from Batu Pahat, Johor.
I don't understand English. Use your power.
哎呀呀！嘿，大家好，我名是 Alham，我23岁，
Oh,
这样子才
从
是嘛。
巴都巴峡罗浮。
okay,
你
okay.
们好，大家
So
好，
Very
大家
nice.
好。
yes. So Alham, what are you currently working on now? Like, is there any goals that you're working on now?
Well, for the time being, I'm trying to improve myself, and I am currently a director of a company that my father passed down. So I'm working towards
Ooh,
to become a proper leader to my for my
Congrats,
company.
man.
okay.
Very nice.
Okay. All right.
Very nice.
So,
very nice.
are we ready, Alham? Because we are gonna put the spotlight on you today. All right. Yes. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm very ready.
Why
Okay.
you seems
That
like
sounds
panic?
good.
Why you seems panic like that?
Don't panic.
I'm not
Chill.
panicking lah.
We're just
Okay.
chilling. Chill session.
Okay.
Yep. So, yeah. For your information, Alham is actually our friend, our Malay friend from our university, and we've been together in the same foundation program, and we were quite close back then. So today, we are in luck to have him on set with us today, and yes, we are gonna ask him about his experience and his opinion on today's issue and today's topic, right? So, without further ado, first question, Alham, just a very brief thing, what do you think about the racial harmony in Malaysia in from your perspective,
Mm, honestly, from my perspective, I would say that we do have a certain level of racial harmony. Probably, most likely, right? We can find this usually in traditional kampong area. I would say it's more common here compared to urban area. Because I've lived in both places at once, but currently I'm residing in more rural area.
Right.
And usually around here we are more harmonic, I would say, because mostly we spend our time communicating with each other, and well, we have bad internet access around here in the country area, so we have to play outside more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, okay. Understand.
And compared to the urban area, well, you guys have too much, what you call that thing again, internet.
Yeah,
Okay.
distractions.
Yeah.
Distraction.
Entertainment.
And most of the time, I only see that you guys are only racially harmony in college.
Right.
You know, when you
Mm.
guys are in college because, well, friends and stuff. But, well,
Okay.
but, and I would say that it's mostly how you perceive the other race as well, like how your upbringing is.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, let's say if your parents are quite open and not racist, then I would say you wouldn't have any problem making friends with other races.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so that's basically just my 2 cents on this thing.
Yep, yep. I would agree with that, coming from your perspective, comparing urban areas and rural areas. But I also think in urban areas there's signs of it. There's also good signs of racial harmony as well, in a sense because since you said we have more internet access as well, that is also a reason that contributes to our information literacy, and everyone here, no matter the race or religion, uh we would have better access to information as well, and thus it might also contribute to this better racial harmony as well. Yeah, but it depends on perspectives as well, and we can never be sure sometimes. Yeah, but I would agree with what you said, and yeah. So let's jump on to the next question. So since I mentioned that Alham is actually our Malay friend from uni, and I
Mm.
think you guys have also noticed as well, he introduced himself in Chinese, right?
Mm.
So actually, he knows how to speak Malay, of course, English, and also Chinese. These are the three main languages in Malaysia, lah, right? Basically.
Mm.
So
Correct.
this is quite a special ability, right, Carter?
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Because
So
again, from me, me and Alham, I know him since foundation. So like the first time I approached him, because I also like don't have a lot of like different races friend, because
Mm.
from my home country, I think from my high school because I study in a Chinese high school, so basically really is uh all my races, like my friends is all Chinese. So it's like for me to like get to know friends from other races, I really love it and I really want it. So the first day, like the first time when I stepped into the foundation, the hall, I saw Alham there like sitting there. So I like go sit next to him. Then when I start talking to him, then he suddenly talk Chinese to me. I was like so shocked. Then like, oh, this dude know how to speak Chinese, and he speaks very very well. So
Mm.
it's very good for him, and it's also a good opportunity for work also when he know Chinese for him.
Mm.
Yeah.
哇老啊，你们还记得我们第一次见面怎么样啊？我都已经忘记了，我老，
记得啦。
不好意思，不好意思，我忘记了哦。
So let's continue.
yeah. Basically, Alham said like, "Oh, damn, Carter, you still remember the first time we met?" And Carter said, "Of course, remember lah. You're so special." Yeah, yeah. Okay, so listening to what Carter said, right? That's a good background of it, right? So today we are trying to ask Alham this question particularly, like since he knows both Malay and Chinese language, right? What kind of experiences have you been through, along throughout your life, be it a positive one or a negative one, and maybe you
Mm.
can just share with us. Maybe you can start with the negative ones and then how you overcome it. Yeah, it's all your story time right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll start with the positive one.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Mm.
Sure.
Can?
So far, the positive one I would say is that I visit the cyber cafe a lot back then,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
and usually only Chinese people around there lah.
Right.
So what I usually do is I just speak Chinese to them, and because my skin was fairly white back then, was fairly bright,
Okay.
and I'm not wearing glasses, so they thought I'm a Chinese.
Oh.
So they just
Okay.
converse to me in Chinese like very naturally, I would say.
Okay.
Mm.
And after a while, I think one of them saw my name, and then they asked like, "You're not a Chinese?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not a Chinese. I'm actually a Malay."
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And they were like, "Okay, maybe you're one of the cool ones. You guys are you are pretty cool. Maybe you can hang out with us and stuff after this." And yeah, we did do other activity aside from spending time in cyber cafe. Like we play badmintons and bicycle.
Okay.
Mm.
So
That's
at
good.
one point, I feel kind of welcome, even though
Mm.
we are both from the different races.
Right.
And for the negative part, I guess I'll move on to the negative part because I think that's the only positive one I have so far for my story.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. For the negative part, the tough one would be from my own people
Mm-hmm.
because I'm from a Chinese school and plus my skin is fairly white, like I mentioned previously.
Okay.
Wait. Before
Uh,
you continue, you studied uh Chinese during primary and high school, is it?
no, I study only in primary. I
Mm-hmm.
decided to continue on secondary, but because I went for the first year of my secondary, I went for a religious school.
Oh, okay.
And I dropped out after
Okay.
that. I decided to change school and to go to a private Chinese school, but they cannot accept it because my first year was in religious school and I don't have any basic
Oh,
to go into the Chinese school.
I see.
wow.
So okay, going back to my story just now. So
Okay.
in the afternoon, usually after my Chinese school ended, pardon me,
Okay, it's okay.
I have to attend a religious school. People usually just call it sekolah agama.
Yep.
And when they found out I'm doing my Chinese homework, they just look at me in a different light and they just feel a bit disgusted lah. And I don't really blame them because, well, people are scared of things that they are unfamiliar with.
True.
So they just, discriminate me and call me stuff like well, you know the word, the China word.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Understand,
So
understand.
I cannot censor as much as I can here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
No worries.
All right. So when that happened, it's pretty painful because
Mm.
yeah. But after a few while, they did learn to accept me. After we spent time talking and stuff, they just realized I'm not much different and I'm still a human lah, a normal human being.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's one part of the story. For the
Mm.
second part of the story, in Chinese school, I don't face much discrimination, honestly, because they just don't do much, or maybe they just don't show.
Uh-huh.
At least until I'm standard 4, when
Uh-huh.
there is a new kid who came into the school,
Okay.
and then the kid is fairly a bit rude towards me and constantly asking me to go back to Malay school because I don't belong there.
Okay.
So one day I just decided to stand up for myself and I asked him to go back to mainland.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I asked him to go back to mainland, which I wasn't really proud of that because that was actually pretty rude and he actually
But
cried afterwards.
yeah,
Okay.
understand.
Understand.
So yeah, but then afterwards it's pretty smooth sailing and there's no more
Mm.
discrimination.
Hmm.
And from what I learned here, I
Mm-hmm.
think what we need lah is actually just a centralized school where all the races are like in one school.
Mm-hmm.
And like this, I don't think we would have any problem with the racial barrier
Yeah.
Hmm.
because, well, we all are in the same level,
Yes.
Hmm.
Correct.
on a
Right.
common ground. We're all students and
Yeah.
we get to know
True.
each other
True.
as a proper human being.
Mm.
True.
So I guess that's all I have for my story.
Yeah.
Right. Darren, what do you think?
Wait. I also want to understand a little bit more about this. So you said you learn Chinese through primary school. Did your parents like send? That means your parents wanted to send you to there. Is it?
Uh, Initially, right, they
Ah.
wanted to send me to a Malay school,
Hmm.
but then the Chinese school actually looks pretty cool
Mm-hmm.
because the
Oh.
building is pretty tall, and I'm just a kid, so I got impressed
Okay.
with the tall building. So yeah,
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
I
it's a
see. I
very
see.
stupid reason if you ask me.
Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Then when learning Chinese, do you have any difficulties learning it? Because I I know that people who have not learned Chinese word uh or the language, they have a little quite some trouble learning it compared to other languages because it's more complex and some words are like the same reading sound but has different meanings. So
I
do you have
see, like for example, let's say the word horse, ma.
yeah yeah
If you mispronounce it, it sounds like mother,
yeah
ma.
exactly yeah
Yeah, so I can relate to that.
yeah.
But my mom was Chinese educated,
Oh,
so
okay.
and
Oh,
her
okay.
Chinese is pretty smooth, I would say, pretty
Mhm.
fluent.
Oh,
Okay,
this is the
okay.
first time I hear from this.
Yeah, I didn't know
So
that.
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, her
Yeah.
Chinese was pretty fluent, and she was the one who have been tutoring me
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No wonder.
after school,
Okay,
and
okay.
she knows quite a number of modern Chinese word rather than the old Chinese, traditional Chinese. So
Okay,
Mhm.
okay.
so far she taught me a lot,
Mm.
with the pronunciation and the writing and how to use the Chinese dictionary. I think you
Mm.
guys are pretty familiar with the Red Dictionary. I think it's called
Yep.
Kamus. Yeah, whatever that
Yeah.
Kamus is. I don't remember
Yeah.
that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
pretty dope.
Okay. I see, I see.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
while in the school, like, uh, while learning, did the teachers have give you any problems or did they discriminate or anything? The teachers.
So far, I think the teacher have no problem with me except for one teacher, and she was teaching
Ah,
IT
ah,
computer.
ah.
I don't know why she doesn't like me that much, but she
Okay.
kept asking me to redo my homework over and over again, and I've
Okay.
been giving her the same answer until the fifth time. Then only she agreed
Okay.
with the
Okay.
answer I give. So, but
Understand.
the rest,
Understand.
no. I think they're pretty fine. They're pretty cool.
Okay.
Good. That's good.
That's good. That's
Mhm.
good. All
Yeah.
right.
So you've shared with us your experience, right, and your story. And I'm wondering, on a general level, right, in general terms, what do you think are the advantages or disadvantages when you are on a social level, meaning socializing with other races or even your own race? And also maybe on a work level, you see, when you're doing work with other people and all that. What do you think are the advantages or disadvantages in general? Yeah.
Mm.
So far in work, right, I don't think there's actually any much disadvantages
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm.
because, well, I'm in the line of business, and
Mm.
businessmen, they don't really care about, how you look, what your race
Yeah.
is.
Right.
As
True.
long as
True.
you can
True.
do business with them, they're pretty much fine with it. But I would
Yes.
say
Mm.
that if you can speak Chinese, it would actually please the Chinese people more.
Yeah, that's an
Okay.
advantage.
And I think
Mm.
that's one of the advantage.
Yep.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
And the disadvantage, I don't think I can think of any, honestly.
Okay.
Mm.
Mm-hmm,
No
mm-hmm.
problem.
Yeah, but like for example, when you came to the university, Taylor's University, and you were with us, right? And most of us we were Chinese, right? So
Mm.
would that be considered an advantage that you will be able to communicate with us uh on a much easier using Chinese or like rather than speaking English, or like what do you think about that? Like because not everyone in university, not only Taylor's, like everywhere, right? Not everyone is fluent in English, not everyone is fluent in Chinese or Malay, right? So different people have different abilities on that. So
Mm.
what kind of advantages did it bring you in this particular matter?
All right, I'll be frank.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know some of you guys doesn't know English that well, and
Yeah.
why would I burden myself speaking English with you guys when my Chinese is already like
Yep.
good enough to converse with you guys?
Mm-hmm.
True.
True.
True. True.
And well, I mean, come on, throughout all the years, I think we've been speaking Chinese more than English,
Yeah.
Mm.
and I mean that's a pretty good advantage if you ask me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Because what I think is when I would say most Chinese, if we are not that good in English or Malay and we know it ourselves, we tend to not know how to socialize well with other races, especially Malay and Indian,
Mm.
especially these two.
Mhm.
I think I would assume, right? What do you think, Carter and Darren? Would you agree?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with this.
Yeah.
I think uh I can put myself as an example. So like
Right.
throughout my I think from primary until high school, my main language that I communicate with my friends mainly is just Chinese only.
Mm.
So like once I came here to study my uni. So like I mean I think during my when I'm back in my hometown, I use English to communicate really, really like just a bit only through tuition. But I love English. So like I watch most I think when I came here, I quite confident that I can speak English because I watched quite a lot of English show and everything. So I
Mm.
think like you see, language really helps people to like communicate well and probably like make things more smoother, right? Because language is very, very powerful.
Mm.
Everyone communicate with words, and you need to give out words that make people understand.
Yeah.
So like it's always an advantage to learn a new language for yourself
Mm.
because you never know when you will use it. It might help you with your life. It might change your life also, right? So
Yeah.
like what Jada just said, I think yeah, like probably like because we are scared that we will say out like words that is misleading, misunderstanding, it
Mm.
might offend people, right? So that's why some people don't try to make friends with other races because of the language problem. Yeah, that's
Mm.
what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. Okay. For me, I also have similar thoughts to Carter. I think that learning an additional language is always good because you can increase your knowledge of that specific language or relate more to that culture to cultures that use the language. Like maybe like Aham can understand memes that are in Chinese language.
Yeah,
So yeah, because if you don't understand the language, you
it won't
can't
be funny. Yeah,
understand the memes. Yeah, it won't be funny.
yeah,
So
That's
actually, yeah,
that's actually the best advantage I ever had in
yeah,
college.
yeah. So I think that's very good because it's always good to learn and also to learn it to use for your career because
yeah,
in career you will meet all kinds of different people from different backgrounds and races. So it's
yes,
good to always learn a new language. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and also just to quickly clarify, like we are just speaking from our perspective. That's why we are leaning
mm,
more towards like Malay, Chinese, and this thing,
Yeah.
because Alham is the one who speaks both languages and it
Mm.
yeah,
relates to
Mm.
us. That's why we are able to share more on this one. But because thinking about like if Indian friends, if anyone knows Tamil language as well, that would be an
Mm.
advantage to
There'll
them as
be an
well. Same thing,
advantage.
yes,
right? So
Yes.
it's
true,
a mirror image, right? Yeah, but
yes,
we're just sharing from our perspective.
Yes.
yes,
And I've been thinking, right, like we're not saying that language is the one and only thing that will bring us closer, right?
yeah,
Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so
Mm-hmm.
many other things involved, like even factors that we can't be in control of,
Mm.
right? uh but other than that, other than language, right, we can also learn each other's culture
yes,
Mm.
better. That's why we are actually slowly progressing towards that as well.
yes,
Every festival that we have, it will
yeah,
be a national public holiday, and everyone would actually be very aware of it, and they will like also
yes,
celebrate it together, right?
yeah,
Sometimes they will
Mm.
go visit open houses, each other's
yes,
open house during different
correct,
festivals. That is a very basic but
mm,
effective, yeah, a way to actually bring
Mm.
yes,
races closer together. So
yeah,
other than learning culture as well, there's many other ways as well,
yes,
like socializing and all that. But I think language barrier is one of the main factors. So what we are saying here today is trying to imply that language barrier is actually one of the main factors of bringing racial harmony to a better level. You see, that's a main factor. Not to say it is the one and only factor, but it's quite a main factor because from what we can see from Alham's experience, there are disadvantages, but there's also a lot of advantages
Mm.
that
Mm.
we just mentioned in our conversation. Like even Darren said, we share Chinese memes to him, he can understand, and that
Yeah.
brings us closer together. So
yeah,
that's actually a very good way. But we understand that it's not easy to learn a new language, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
Alham,
yeah,
he started learning it from like primary school. So when you are young, you are fresh to everything. You are just blank piece of
Mm.
paper. You will be able to learn things more efficient as well. So when you've grown older and you are more busy, you're more occupied with your life, you might not have time to learn another language. So maybe, you just need to, if your language your language abilities are not that good, maybe the other way to do it is to improve on the languages that you actually know. Like for example, if we are Chinese, you know that your Malay and English is not that good. If you can work on those two languages, that would also contribute to this good factor as well.
Yes,
You will bring
Mm.
correct.
racial harmony to a better level as well, right? Not necessarily to wait for our Malay or Indian friends to learn Chinese to talk to us
Yes.
as well. So
Yes,
everyone can
yes,
also do their part, right? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Alham, maybe one last question, or maybe see if you guys have any other questions. What
Mm.
kind of uh advice or any plausible solution that you think that you can bring to our community, maybe the Malay community or the Chinese community? What do you think? Anything else that they can do, or like, do you think that they should follow your footsteps in learning Chinese as well, or whatnot? What are your thoughts? Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I'm not gonna force the Malay people to learn
Yeah.
Chinese, but if you ever approach the Chinese people, don't be scared, man. They're not gonna put pork in your mouth or something. Like they just want to be friend with you, man. Just understand them better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
also, I think it's better if our education ministry, try and do something about making
Mm.
most of the school in Malaysia into I think it's called a
All
secular.
together as one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's called secular school system. I
Yeah,
may
Okay,
be
yeah,
so
wrong
yeah, I
because
think
I
yeah,
haven't practiced
yeah,
this for so long
yeah.
already.
yeah,
Because I saw,
So
because seriously, I feel like school cannot make it like that. It's like a different. It's cannot make it like a football club
Yeah,
or what.
segregation.
Yeah,
yeah,
there's nothing to like compare with each other.
yeah.
Mainly, school is for you to learn things for
Mm.
your future. So I don't think there's nothing to like how to say. I think like ranking and everything is not a
Yeah.
big thing to compare with each other. Like from
Yes.
school. Yeah, that's how I think.
Understand.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Right,
Darren, what
Al?
do you think?
Yeah. So like what Carter also said, like I think schools should be combined
Basically,
because
turn role lah. Yeah.
because schools should be combined because if you separate there's I don't think there's any advantage to that because
Yeah.
you're just separating the community
And the
from
mindset also the
yeah
mindset.
and like separating everyone from other races and culture from
Mm.
each other because like in Malaysia we are a multiracial country. We have so many types of culture and races here. So
Yes.
why don't you combine them together? They understand how everyone thinks, so like everything can be more harmonious like that. Everything can be more peaceful. They'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I can't say that because they have been in the same school before, like different races. So they'll be like, oh, I can't say that. That's offensive to him. Because if you separate them, they won't know that. Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
especially I think if in Sabah Sarawak that can happen, that would be so interesting because
yeah,
there's so many races
exactly.
and ethnicities over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think
Yeah,
Carter would know, right? So if
Um.
everyone is combined, that would be damn cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True. 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 Because from my hometown, yeah, there's not just like Malay. There's even like Iban. Everyone. There's a lot
mm.
mixed together. Totally.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Alham,
So
you.
guys, do you have any other questions for Alham?
I think question wise, not much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
come bring in the question.
Huh?
Oh,
Okay. I got one question.
Alham.
How
I'm.
do you
Oh,
maintain your Chinese language? Like, do you get rusty with it? If you
I have to admit it's not as good as I was before, but
okay.
Oh man.
but
I just
Yeah.
start talking to my Chinese friend in Chinese,
Yeah.
and sometimes I do read Chinese paper, but I
oh,
do have a hard time with it because
yeah,
it's
Okay.
Ah,
in traditional Chinese.
Yeah.
yeah.
Understand.
Understandable.
Understand.
Plus, I don't have the Red Dictionary anymore, so
Mm.
yeah,
But you have Google now.
I do. But come on, writing it is so
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Traditional
Don't worry.
Chinese is so
never
hard.
mind. From
Don't worry.
you, you can speak, you can understand. That's very, very good already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
advantage already.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
big advantage
Like you
already.
can
Kudos to you,
understand.
honestly.
You can work
Yeah.
with businessmen from China. You can communicate with
Yeah.
them. Yeah, It's
Mhm.
very a good advantage for you.
Yeah, because like when you are different race and you speak that another race's language, that race will be very very happy for
Yeah,
when you know how to speak it.
you can plan to up your game.
Yeah.
Up your game. Go learn Cantonese.
Oi.
Cantonese. Wow. I don't want to curse in Cantonese, man.
No.
No lah, no use in a bad way, ma.
Yeah.
Use it for business.
Yeah.
But overall,
Well,
I think it's great lah
Yeah.
because in Malaysia, I from my thinking, I don't really like think like, oh, Chinese we must be all together as Chinese only, Malay, Indian. I
Yeah.
feel like three of the races is really we should name ourselves Malaysian. I don't want like we have like a
Yeah.
category. I
Like
don't
they
feel good
always
about
ask
it.
what
Yeah.
race are you? There should be a
I
Malaysian
don't
one.
feel good about
Yeah.
it. I feel like everyone is the same.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
can learn new things from other races also, like from their culture, from their style,
Mm.
especially food. Food plays a role also. Plays a
Yeah,
big role
yeah. Yep.
in this also because we can see now more and more restaurant they mix different kind of dishes together. There's
Mm.
like what Malaysian, Indian, Chinese food all together. We make something happen, and
Mm.
some of the dishes also we go for international competition. Like it makes things happen. So
Yeah.
it's a very very good thing, right?
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Alham, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with us, or anything that you want to share?
Yeah.
so far, no, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But
Okay,
I
no
think I just
problem.
want to say that. Yeah. I think I just want to say that. It's not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences.
Yeah.
That's the main issue over there. So we need to learn how to embrace each other's culture, each other's flaws, each other's advantages, and all that, and learn from each other. And just
Yeah.
as Carter said, food, and then we mentioned language, and then I also mentioned culture. These are the main factors that will contribute to a better racial harmony in Malaysia.
Yes.
And
True.
we are certainly looking forward to much better one Malaysia. I think we are working towards it, but it's a
Yes.
progress. It's a progress. It will take
Yes.
time. It will take time, but I believe we'll reach there one day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
Because we love each other. Just love each other. Respect each other. There's nothing wrong with it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
It's
So
gonna be
Carter,
I mean it's gonna be so much fun, like knowing more people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From different races. You have
Yeah.
so many friends from different races. If you
You
learn.
can make you can make something new,
Yeah.
something fresh out
Yeah.
from like
yeah,
from others understanding. Yeah, something like this. Yep.
yep. So Carter, do you
Mhm.
think we have reached the end of today's
Yeah, I
topic?
think overall okay. Once
Mm.
All right.
again, to all our audience, today's topic is really um you guys can listen to it and think about it. Like it's very very meaningful, and
Mm-hmm.
I hope everyone can mm, most like what every time what I say peace and love
Yeah.
with each other. Just make friends with each other. There's nothing wrong with it. It's gonna
Yes.
be fun. You see,
Yep.
us. There's
Yeah.
no
Us
problem.
four.
Yeah,
Us
us
four. We
four.
are still friends
No
to
problem. Yeah,
until this day.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well, Darren, we would be better friend if you play Apex with me, but well, you don't want to play
Hey, I
Apex
got
with
play.
me.
Okay.
Plus, Carter never invite me for Dota, so there's that.
Uh-huh.
I'm so sorry, but
Don't listen to them and they're lying. I'm
Okay.
joking. I'm joking. We're still
yeah,
friends.
yeah. Of course, we're still friends, man.
Yeah.
And I cherish like all the things we did, like during our uni. And we did so many stupid stuff. We went to like, yeah, it was very fun. It's all
Yeah.
fun times, man. All fun times. And ladies and
True.
gentlemen, again, we're coming to the end. It's been a long time since the last time we shoot an episode. And
Mm-hmm.
today we're glad to bring our friend Alham 来几句华语，谢谢。好，
谢谢啊。
不用你来几句华语 speak a bit of
Nah.
Chinese
Thank the
啊。
audience.
Thanks the
哦，
audience，帮我们
谢谢你们哦，谢谢大家 听我们的 podcast 啊。
Okay,
Okay,
nice.
good,
Okay,
good,
now
good enough.
he invite himself as a new speaking about that member. Okay. I'll consider that. I'll consider that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned, stay tuned.
Okay. Yeah, again, thank you everyone to coming in,
And
giving
listening.
your time,
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, tuning in to our podcast, and I think we'll see everyone next time. Bye
And-
bye.
And
Alham.
before
Bye-bye.
wait,
Thank you.
if you have any experiences, good experiences, like that you can connect to this topic, feel free to share them in the YouTube comment section below. Okay.
Yes.
Nice
Or
one.
on our Instagram or Facebook as well. That works
Yes.
too.
Feel free to share experiences with us.
More content coming soon, guys. Bye.
Yes. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, Alham.
Thank you all.
Bye.
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 Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed the episode and feel free to tell us what other topics that you would like us to cover. And of course, don't forget to follow our socials at Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. We'll see you in the next one.